Hello and welcome to a new video. I thought today I would just do a TBR video, some books that I have on my shelf that are a little bit higher up on my TBR than maybe some other books. I'll be honest, right now I'm kind of just in a rereading mood. I feel like I'm not emotionally equipped to be reading like brand new books, but when I feel like reading some more like new books and not just rereading Cassandra Clare books, this is my pile that I would like to pick from. These are books a little bit higher up on my TBR that I am very excited about. So let's go ahead and get into the stack. First, this is a book I've had on my shelf for quite a long time, or at least I've had on my TBR for a long time. I just got the copy not that long ago. But this is The Queer Principles of Kit Webb by Cat Sebastian. This is a, I believe, Regency queer historical romance, and I am very excited to give it a try. I'm actually currently reading a Cat Sebastian book that takes place in 1960, so I'm interested to see how she takes on other historical eras, and I've heard so many good things about this. I don't know what the exact context of the plot is, but I know it's a historical romance, and I love a historical romance, so I'm very excited to give this a try. Next, I have some Emily Henry books that I would like to get to. There is Funny Story and Happy Place. I think these are the only two that left I haven't read. I'm not sure. I think I've read 3 books by her. Anyway, these are the 2 I know I haven't read, and I'm very excited to give them a try. This is a broken up couple that kind of like a second chance romance that find that they go on a trip with friends and then they haven't told their friends that they're broken up and they get back together, I'm presuming. It sounds really fun and it's got a really pretty cover. Love the pink. And then I actually don't know what this is about. She falls in love with her ex-fiance's new fiance's ex. Interesting. So it sounds fun, sounds a little bit messy. Emily Henry's books I think are always really heartfelt and moving. They're not like the most romancy of romances, but they are enjoyable reads, so I'm excited to give them a try. And I feel like I need to catch up with the rest of the world and read more Emily Henry books. So next, this is pretty high up on my TBR. Apparently I just dropped this little bookmark thing out of it. This is Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. I have heard nothing but amazing things about this book. This is a fantasy series. I don't know a lot of the details. I know there's like gods and magic and kings and queens and that sort of stuff, so right up my alley. But this is a incomplete series, which scares me a little bit to start reading and like have it end on a giant cliffhanger and not have the next book. And I think I just saw online that the next book doesn't come out till next year. So that's a little scary. So I don't know how soon I'm gonna pick this up, but I really, really want to because I hear such amazing things and that it's like a really, really good series. I think it's book 4 we're waiting on, or book 3, I'm not sure. This is just the first one, but I do really want to read it. It does sound really good, but yeah, it definitely scares me a little bit to not be a completed series. But hey, look, my nails kind of match it, but I am excited to read it, and I've heard the romance in here is a bit of a slow burn, but that it's really, really good, so that does make me really excited to read it. Next, this is a one that I just kind of randomly bought at the bookstore because it had a really pretty cover, I'm not gonna lie, and red sprayed edges. This is The Empress by Kristen Cast. Kristen Cast is an author that has like been in the game for a really long time, and I've never read any books by her, but this one sounds so good. This is about a girl who gets like taken into a world where like tarot card characters and tarot like magic is real, and she has to kind of navigate that, and she is, I don't know if she's kidnapped or she's just like saved by someone, and I love the sentence, he's too hot to be good news, he's definitely hiding secrets, and I've already seen him kill 2 people to protect me. Like, doesn't that just sound like a really fun time? This is also a series though where only the first book is out, so, but I know she's been like writing for such a long time. I don't know how fast her books come out. So I just think this is such a unique premise, like the witchy tarot card stuff I think sounds so interesting, so I do really want to read this. And like I said, is this just not the prettiest cover you've literally ever seen? So I'm very interested in getting into this one. Next, these are two contemporaries I've had on my shelf for literally ever, and I do really want to read them. This is Presidential Bargain by Rebecca Gaio. This is book one. It's a duology. It is a fake marriage, marriage of convenience, because he is running for president and he needs a wife to make him look better. And she needs the money. I'm pretty sure he pays her. And I just think that sounds so silly and so fun. And I love a marriage convenience, and I feel like it's so often a trope used in historical, but not as often used in contemporary romances. It still is, but I just really think this is going to be a fun one. And I follow the author on Instagram. I have since I bought these books, and she just seems like a really nice lady. I definitely want to read this one soon. I feel like this would be a good, like, you know, like easier read. She has so many good books, oh my gosh, to just really like not turn your brain off, but you know, like a fun, easy read that'll just be like cutesy, fun, relaxing to read. So I definitely want to get into this. I have them on my Kindle as well, because sometimes I think I just read better on Kindle, so definitely on my TBR. Next, this is another one that everybody has been raving about, and that is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. This one just, I barely know what this series is even about. I think it's just a duology. I don't think there's going to be more. I like barely know what these books are about, but it just sounds so atmospheric and fun, and it just sounds like it'll be such a good time. It's witchy and like dark and gloomy and magical, so really all my favorite things. Low-key, I kind of want to save these for the fall as like a good atmospheric read, but this is about a girl who has like some sort of demon speaking to her. I'm not entirely sure. And then she goes on a quest, if you will, with the king's own nephew, and they are potentially like betraying the kingdom. So it just sounds really, really good, and I've heard from so many people that they love this series, and I've heard from I've seen a lot of people online say that they love this series, and they're people that I know like don't necessarily read as much fantasy, so I'm really excited to try this one. Next, I have this historical romance series, A Lady's Formula for Love by Elizabeth Everett, the Secret Scientist of London series. There are 3 of them that I bought all of them, and I haven't read a historical. I don't know if I've read a historical this year, to be honest, and I need to, because I love historicals, and I love a blue stocking female main character. I just think they're so much fun in a historical setting, and I just love the way it kind of changes the story and changes the way that the female main character kind of exists in a very patriarchal society. So I am very excited. Plus, Joanna Shoup is who blurbs this one on the front, who is my favorite historical romance author. So I just think that these will be really, really good books, and they sound a lot of fun. Each book follows a different, different characters, and they have different like science-y and like hobbies or whatever, careers, whatever they are. I don't know the details yet, but this sounds really fun. This girl has her own laboratory, so that sounds fun. And she is a noble woman who works in chemistry, and he is a protection officer, so like maybe like works for the police. I'm here for it, and I can't wait to give it a try. Then I still haven't read this one. I still haven't read Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I'm so terrified of this book. It came out months ago now, and I just am so afraid to read it. I know it's gonna break my heart. This sounds so silly, because like I read the other Hunger Games book. I can't think of the title right now. I read the other one so fast. This one, I'm afraid to read it. Haymitch is like my favorite character, so I just know this is going to destroy me emotionally. So, but I'm going to read it. I'm gonna read it soon. I will. I'm very excited, don't get me wrong. I'm just also terrified. So we'll see how this one goes. Next, I'm pretty sure this is the first one. I think Assistant to the Villain is the first one, but I also have Apprentice to the Villain, and I couldn't remember which one was first, and I didn't bother to look it up. But whichever is first, I really want to read this duology. I think actually it's an ongoing series, but there's only two out so far. But I think it sounds like such a fun series. Like it almost kind of gives me like Marissa Meyer vibes, because she's got all those like fairy tale retellings. It feels kind of like that, where it's just a really fun twist on a traditional story where, you know, they are the assistant to the villain, just like rather than like being the hero villain traditional story, you get to see it in a different light, and you get to see the, like, is the villain really the villain kind of thing. And I always love that question in a story, and I think this just sounds really, really fun, and I've heard endless good things about this series. And I think the villain is probably a character I'll end up very deeply falling in love with, so I am very excited to give these a try, and I will look up which one is first. I'm pretty sure this one is first. So I'm very excited. It would make sense to go from assistant to apprentice, so I'm very excited to read those. Next, another historical on my list. This one is one I was gifted a while ago, and I haven't read it yet, but I really should. And that is Don't Want You Like a Best Friend by Emma R. Albin. I mean, it's got a Taylor Swift lyric. I am excited to try this. This is one I've actually heard pretty mixed reviews on. Sorry, slight angle change because my camera overheated and I had to move it. Not sure why I did that. Anyway, I was talking about Don't Want You Like a Best Friend. This is still on my TBR, even though I have gotten slightly mixed reviews. I've seen mixed reviews on it. I've seen people love it, and I've seen people not love it. So I'm mostly interested to read it just to see what I think, and if I fall into the not love it category, that's okay. You know, sometimes their books just aren't meant for you. But I think it sounds really interesting. It's a sapphic historical romance, and like I said, I haven't read any historical romances. I don't think so anyway this year. I definitely need to. So I want to give it a try and see if I like it. Next, this one has been on my TBR for a little while too. This is Starbringer by Tracy Wolff. This is a sci-fi, so I think the next time I'm in the mood for a sci-fi, this would be a really good book to pick up because I love Tracy Wolff. Oh, Tracy Wolff and Nina Croft, sorry. They co-wrote this book, and I think it sounds really interesting. I don't know if it's gonna have a sequel or not, I can't remember, but it says Firefly meets the Breakfast Club in this snarky new adult romance. That sounds really fun. Those are things that I love. So I think it, like, the found family aspect will be really fun to read, and she's so great at writing that. I've never read a Nina Croft book, but I have read many. I've read 6 Tracy Wolff books, and I think it just sounds like a really fun read, and it is a large book though, so that scares me just a little bit, but I'm excited to give it a try, and I think it'll be fun next time I'm in the mood for a sci-fi, which is not as often as other genres necessarily, but I do think that it'll be a fun read when the time comes. Next, another fantasy on my TBR is Season of the Dragon by Natalie Wright. This is book 1. I've got this beautiful sprayed edges edition, and then I also own book 2. I actually don't think book 3 is even out yet, which again scares me, but I have heard so many good things. This is a indie published book. I bought this at the Tucson Book Festival and got it signed. She was so sweet. The cover is what intrigued me, and then I like chatted with her, and it just sounds so magical. And you know what, with God knows how long we're gonna have to be waiting for the next Fourth Wing book, I need some dragons in my life, and this book I'm pretty sure has dragons. A dragon kills her father. There are dragons. So I think it'll be a fun read, and I think she said it's a slow burn romance for sure, but I think it sounds like a really good magical, just like high fantasy, rich kind of storytelling, and I'm excited to get into it, even if it probably will end in a cliffhanger and the next book's not out yet. So what's new? Lastly, I have another historical romance on my TBR. This is It Happened One Fight by Maureen Lee Lanker, but this is a historical romance that takes place in the 1930s, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, 1932. This is between 2 actors in like old Hollywood era who are co-stars and have to work together, but they hate each other and then they fall in love, obviously. And I just think I've never read a book that takes place in the 1930s. I've never read a romance. I'm sure I've read a book in school probably. And so I just think that's such an interesting era to approach for a romance, so I'm very interested in giving it a try. And I just love this cover, and I think it looks so cute, and I'm just so fascinated when, don't get me wrong, I love a Regency historical romance, I love a Scottish Highlands historical romance, but those are the ones that are done the most, and I'm just so interested in giving some other eras a try. That's why I like the 1961 I'm reading right now. That's why I have the, wasn't there a different era on this thing too? No, that was in my last thing. Anyway, I love trying that's why I like Gilded Age New York books so much, because it's just like a little bit different. So I definitely am very excited to give this one a try. I hope you enjoyed my little TBR video. Will I get to these this year? I don't know, but that's my goal. So I hope you enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.